Yes, boss. See the topic, man. You should never refriend someone you had to cut off before. Now, I'm happy I could go ahead and bust this one down because this is very easy. So here's the deal, right? In life, I'm not going to say there's nothing wrong with cutting people off. That's a very good thing. I would definitely recommend it if it's needed. But I will say this, right? If you cut somebody off before in the past, right? You had to have a reason as to why you did it. You get what I'm saying? I mean, some people, they move a certain kind of way. Some people, they cut people off for a reason. Cool, yeah. But it has to be a reason why you cut them off. I'll give you an example, right? One of the main reasons why I cut off a lot of people from my past are people who try to use me, take from me, whatever, try to manipulate, just one-sided stuff. Whether it was friendship, relationship, all of that stuff. Then on the other end, it was people who was moving foul and shiesty, like real snake-like. You get what I'm saying? Backdoor vibes, like you plotting on people, or you pocket watching, or you gossiping about people. It's like you have to know the reason why you cut somebody off. But the most important thing is, if somebody tries to come back around, or you feel like, hey, you know what, maybe time has gone on and maybe this person's changed. My honest opinion to you is this. If you cut somebody off, make sure you have a strong reason as to why you're doing that. If not, you're going to double back in your mind and feel like maybe this person has changed, or maybe this, that, and the third. No, if you know why you got rid of a person, there's no reason to open up old doors that you closed. You feel me? I'm the type of person, I'm going to close a door, I'm going to close it for a reason, and I'm going to keep that sucker closed. You feel me? There's no reason to refriend people that you cut off. And there's multiple reasons as to why. You got to understand that people do change over time. If I'm not saying that for like the positive. Yes, some people could change for the positive. But there are some people, if they were moving in one set way, chances are they're probably going to get worse over time if they choose not to change those ways. So example, let's say you cut off somebody because, yo, every time I was friends with you, it's like you always try to like steal from me, or pillow talk about me, or whatever. Chances are if that person was doing that before, it probably might be something that they may continue on later, unless they understand, yo, what I was doing was foul. But like I said, I have reasons for why I cut people off. I'm not reopening up old doors that I closed. You feel me? Because that can cause a lot of trust issues. And if you know a reason why you cut somebody off, there's no reason for you to go against your own issues, or against your own self or your own mental state. Let's say you cut somebody off because it's like, yo, this is one friend I gotta watch. Never refriend a person like that. Yo, you snaky, or you move shiesty. Never refriend people like that. If it's something minor, or like a spat or a disagreement, cool. Certain things can be mended, but have strong reasons as to why you cut people off. You feel me? As well as that, some people, they could be a drainage to you. I said this to you all the time. If a person is gonna take from you, they're going to be draining you. They're going to keep taking until they cannot take anymore. You feel me? So if a person is draining you, there's no real reason for you to refriend that person, or link back up with that person, because they're only coming back in to drain your resources. And you have to remember this as well. Whether friendship, relationship, family-wise, whatever you cut off a person for, chances are that's probably what they looked at you for in the first place. So example, I'm going to kill this whole I'm going to slaughter this whole topic, bro. Let's say you had a person who was your friend, and they only link with you because, dog, you got a car. You feel me? You got to stop and look at things like this. This person ain't got a car. I have a car. Whenever they link me, they're only linking me because they need a ride somewhere. That's not really your friend. That's a one-sided situation. If they paying you for gas or something like that, and it's worth your while, worth the thrill, then that's something different. But a person who's steadily trying to ask or hit you up for certain things, that's not really a friend. That's a person who's there to take and drain from you. You feel me? And you got to understand this as well. There are people who don't mind doing certain things because it's going to be a benefit to them. You have to be the person to have boundaries within yourself. You got to be the person who stands firm within yourself. Because you got to understand this. One of the biggest reasons why people cut somebody off, of course, they cross certain boundaries. You feel me? Whether it was the boundary of them trying to manipulate you, the boundary of them trying to take and steal from you, the boundary of them being two-faced. It's different boundaries that people cross. And you got to understand something. If you respect yourself, you respect your boundaries and all of that, it's best that you keep certain doors closed. Because you have to understand, there are some people, they're looking to go ahead and violate those same boundaries that they violated in the past. You feel me? So if it doesn't make sense to have a person around, just go ahead and cut them off. And as well as that, don't feel bad for cutting people off. Don't let time go on and you're like, damn, bro, like I done leveled up, or man, I never really had to do this person, like do away with this person. Man, listen, if you know you have a reason and it wasn't out of pettiness, it was a well thought up, yo, this is the reason why I cut them off. This is how it affected me. If I had never cut them off, it was going to get worse over time. Hell yeah. Just remember those thoughts, bro. I told you this for a reason. It was a reason why I cut my mom off. My mom wasn't respecting me. My mom was draining me. My mom was using me. And then I started seeing towards the end, yo, because I separated myself from my mom, how I was able to replenish myself, build myself back up. And you have to understand this. Some people cut people off as well because they're a narcissist. You got to understand this. Narcissists, they hide in different ways. They'll hide as a friend, hide as a lover. These people don't really care like that. They're just takers. They're users. They're like what they call them, energy vampires nowadays. So narcissists, if a person was a narcissist, chances are you cutting them off, you're not wrong for that. But just remember this in the back of your mind. They're probably still on that same time. So you just might as well just leave them where they at. You feel me? Because as well as that, when people are known to do certain things to you, or you provided a certain resource for them, they probably think, yo, you've probably upgraded in those resources since we parted ways. So I got to see about getting back around you again now. You feel me? Let's say you was helping a person, whether financially or giving them ideas or through a business or whatever, and it wasn't reciprocal and you had to cut those people off. Chances are those people know why you cut them off, and they're not looking to come back in to change their ways or, you know, let me be a better person than what I was before to you. No, they're coming back in with the same intentions. That's just how you got to look at things. You feel me? Because you got to remember this, right? Old patterns do resurface. If you were with a person, right? I'm not saying people cannot change for the better. You got to understand something. If a person and you were one set way, like let's say on a dynamics, like you dating a girl, you and this girl was always together and you were doing everything for her. If you had to part ways with her because the shit was one-sided, chances are if she's trying to come back around, she's coming back in for that same type of treatment, the same type of leverage balance, the way that things were before. And if it cannot be like that again, then it's no point. But then there are some people who try to force that balance or force that dynamics to go back to the way how it used to be, and things aren't like that. You got to understand this. In life, when you change or when you choose to do away with a person, or you cut them off, or you was sideways, or you was slimy, you was grimy, you was whatever, you have to remember and keep that in the back of your mind. How that person made you feel. Why that person did. Well, you may not know why they did it, but just understand that people will only do to you what you allow them to. You feel me? If you allow a person to use you, a person will do that. If you come off too nice or too naive, people are going to play on that. You got to understand this, and I say this all the time. It's like law. The average person is not looking to work hard honestly on their own. A lot of people are saying, yo, who can I use, trick, confuse, come up off of, step on their toes, let me pull the wool over your eyes. There's a lot of tricksters in the world, and you got to understand that they're growing by the day. So you choosing to be a person who's aware of how certain people made you feel, or how you felt sad in a certain situation, and choosing to act on that moving forward so you never go back to those waters, that's a beautiful feeling. Because you know what it is that you went through and you don't want to go through it again. And however, you just got to remember that there's a lot of people, they do not care about how they impacted you. If you serve them a benefit, they're going to try their hardest to make that dynamics go back to the way that it used to be. Lastly, right? Impacting of relationships. Let's say you cut other people off, right? You cut off old friends, got some new ones. Cut off your old female, got a new female. Cut off your family. you got people now that move with you like family, like real family. Those old people that you cut off to pick up new people, or you met new people along the way, they'll try their hardest to go ahead and sabotage those new relationships or those new bonds that you built. Because a lot of people feel like because you cut them off or you left them in the past and you went to pick up new things and they're not a part of the new, they want to sabotage that in aspects of maybe hoping that you'll come back to where they used to be. Or you have to understand as well, there are some people that are bitter like that. They don't like to see the next person happy. So if I could go ahead and stick a fork in your plans, F up your play for the day, whatever the case may be, it'll be beautiful for me. So I'll do that. You got to understand that misery loves company. And if you're too happy, some people, they just don't like that. You feel me? So understand and weigh it out on the scale. You feel me? Why did you cut this person off? Why was this person draining to you? Or how did it made you feel? Sometimes, if you really want to know to not open up an old closed door, you got to sit down within yourself and ask yourself how a person made you feel. Did a person value you? Was the situation one-sided? Was it worth it? Was the good times worth the bad times? Or was the juice worth the squeeze? You feel me? You just got to chalk it up. Like, if you could add it on a scale and it's like it ain't balanced, it's one-sided and it's in their favor, yeah, just do away with them people. Ain't no reason to even open up them old closed doors. You feel me? Because remember, a lot of people, they're going to be on chances are the same type of time, and they're not going to be willing to change or get better as who they are. You feel me? A lot of people who you cut off from the past, they're probably looking at it now like you probably done got better. Especially if you cut people off. This is another one, right? I did a video about this. If you cut somebody off, people are going to be keeping tabs on you, dog. Because there are a lot of people internally, they want to see like, yo, if you cut me off, did your life get better? Or did my life get better? Or some people, they'll play like their life got better, but they know damn well their life didn't get better after you cut them off. You feel me? So that's why a lot of people want to keep tabs on you. How's life going for her? How's life going for him? They living good now. They living worse. Some people, they get off on that. And if they find out that you're doing better, it's going to hurt their ego even more because you cut them off. And you cut them off to move on to do better, dog. You get what I'm saying? So always remember these things, that people will try and sabotage you if you reopen those old doors. Some people will try to cross those boundaries. Some people will try their hardest to get things back to the way that it used to be, knowing that it's probably never going to be that same way again. You get what I'm saying? With that being said, remember this. Words can help you. They can hurt you. But here on my channel, I am to uplift you because everybody's a champion. Nobody's a loser, man. 440 for the world. Just remember this in life. If the juice isn't worth the squeeze, it ain't worth it. If a person was never respecting you initially, forget about it. You get what I'm saying? Just make sure you move according to the way how you want your life to be, the way how you deserve to be treated, the way how you want things to be. Never settle for somebody in their BS games or wait and waste time expecting that they'll change. You feel me? Because time wasted is time that you'll never get back. You feel me? 440 for the world. Peace.